Good day of Shabbos, parshas Vayeitzei. You're probably all familiar with that famous dictum of whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're probably right. One of the best predictors of whether I'll be able to achieve what it is that I need to achieve is if I believe that my actions can help do that. Okay, because believing in oneself somehow generates a boost to motivation, and it really increases the likelihood of achieving. Colleague Rabbi Mordechai Schiffman shares a Devar Torah on this week's parsha that I want to share with you. He takes this concept of self-efficacy, is how he refers to it, being able. And it can have specifics. In other words, I am, and I know I am a good driver, but maybe I'm not a good dancer. Or I'm good at art, but I'm not so good at writing. So we have different levels of belief and different abilities that we have. But there's also a kind of generic sense of I can handle the situation that I'm being confronted with. It's not talent specific. Okay, I'm able to accomplish tasks. I'm able to overcome barriers. As Yaakov is making his way to Haran to greet his destiny, he has dreams of angels going up and coming down a ladder from earth to heaven, heaven down to earth. And he comes to realization that Hashem is in this place. Achen yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh. God is truly, veritably in this place. V'ani neichi lo yadati, and I did not know that. Rabbi Shimshon of Astropoli has a intriguing take on these words. In his vision of the throne of Hashem, Yechezkel describes seeing four faces. There's a face of a cherub, a face of a lion, a face of an eagle, and the face of a human being. And the Talmud takes this idea and elaborates on Yaakov's dream and suggests that what the angels are going up and down the ladder about is because they were looking at the picture of the human's face that's engraved on the supernal throne and comparing it to Yaakov's face and seeing the resemblance. They became very, very concerned about his presence down there on earth and his presence up there on the throne, and they felt he was an interloper. They wanted to harm him, so Hashem had to protect Yaakov. Rabbi Shimshon of Astropoli suggests that Yaakov was previously unaware that there were creatures that could reach such elevated spiritual heights as the throne of Hashem. He knew that the cherub, the lion, the eagle had their place over there, but he wasn't aware that his image was there as well. It wasn't until the dream where he saw the angels comparing the face on the throne with his face that he realized his true potential. And so Rabbi Shimshon suggests this is actually alluded to in the choice of words. Avram already knew that the spiritual potential of Achen, Aleph, Chaf, Nun, Aleph for Aryeh, for lion, Chaf for cherub, and Nesher, Nun for an eagle. Achen, Yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh. So there is God here. But until this dream, he was totally unaware of the spiritual potential that he possessed. Av Anochi, myself. And spelled, how do you spell Anochi? With an Aleph, a Nun, a Chaf, which are the three that we mentioned before, the same as the word Achen. And finally, the additional Yud for Anochi, which is the Yud for Yaakov. And this realization of empowerment, of ability, wasn't just something that was specific to a particular talent. This was a general vindication, validation of his entire being, that he would be able to handle whatever came his way. He had Hashem on his side. When he comes to the well shortly thereafter, and he asks the shepherds, why aren't you working? They tell him, hey man, the well is covered up with this big stone, and there's no way that we can handle lifting it off until we're all gathered together and pulled together. That's their attitude. It's just, we can't handle it. We can't do it. They don't even try because they don't believe they can. Yaakov, believing in his ability to take any situation and to accomplish, walks over to the stone, tries, and he succeeds in removing it from the well. He believes in his ability to effect change, puts in the effort, and he succeeds. We have to remind ourselves, just like in the dream of Yaakov, that there's a ladder, and that we're that ladder, planted on the ground, our heads reaching the heavens. If we're mindful of that reality, that each of our movements, our actions, our words generate repercussions in heaven, we'll be careful to do what we need to do for the sake of Hashem. And conversely, if we question our ability to impact on matters in heaven and on earth, if we discard the idea that our deeds have direct influence both above and below, it's like it doesn't matter what we do, then we throw off all responsibility, we follow our instincts, and we just do whatever we want because there's no consequence. And that's false. Through our good deeds, we literally attach ourselves to Hashem. He shall go in His ways, we're told, meaning that His ways are influenced by the way that we go. If we act mercifully on earth, then Hashem acts mercifully from heaven and radiates it down through all of His worlds. And so too with all the other attributes as well. Know what is above you, it says in Pirkei Avos, Da Ma'ila Mimcha, means that what happens above actually comes from us. How many areas of life, spiritual otherwise, do we write off as being too hard or not within our abilities? Perhaps if we learn this lesson from Yaakov this week, we can work on boosting our own sense of capability, of self-efficacy, realizing our potential, putting in the effort, increasing our chances of success, and truly accomplishing. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a week of positive, productive accomplishment. Shabbos.